Why did he let her slap her again? Like, he knew it was he knew it was coming. Don't just stand there and take it, dude. Come on. Ow! Yeah, that's what you get for being a dumbass. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Princess Evangile. So, it has been a hot minute since I last played this. I saw the save file. It was like 2 months. Yeah, I keep popping in and out on you guys, and it's not like I want to do that. It's just, you know, I've talked about it in past videos. It's just with my working a full-time job, I just get so burnt out that on my days off, I just don't feel like doing anything. Like, a lot of times I end up like sleeping all day, which is really not good, but I'm trying to change that a little bit, and because I really want to get back into doing this more regularly again. Because recently I did start going to the gym, because as a way to try to be healthier, and also hopefully that'll help me have a little bit more energy throughout the day. So that's kind of when that's the ultimate goal, is to try to just be a little bit healthier. Yeah, because sleeping all day is really not good, especially at my age. So, but anyway, so we'll see how that goes in the future. But for right now, I think I kind of felt like getting back into this game a little bit. So we are continuing where we left off. So the last video, Masaya, he reunited with his childhood friend who ended up being Chiho. Yeah, she goes to Vincennes as well. So they tried to make amends. Like, he was trying to make amends, but then she slapped him in the face. So we're actually going to find out here what happened with the two of them. Now, what really sucks is I actually already recorded this, so I know what's going to happen. However, the whole video, like, the gain on my microphone messed up. Like, I had this happen in one other video. Yeah, I think whenever I do like Windows updates, the gain on my microphone ends up resetting back to default, which is on max. And the whole audio is just so distorted, which really sucks, because I cracked like some kind of funny jokes in my opinion, but yeah, so they're not going to be as funny the second time around, because I mean, I kind of remember some of the jokes I cracked. I could try and crack them again, but it's not going to be the same the second time around. But yeah, it really sucks, because I actually recorded 2 of these back to back, so I didn't realize it until the end of the second recording, which was like 2 hours later. Once I saw the gain on my microphone was all the way up, I'm like, oh shit. I mean, if it was a shorter video, it wouldn't have been as big a deal, but considering it was an hour-long video of that, it just would have been terrible. So I figured I'd just re-record it and with better audio quality than try to put that one up and then people just can't watch it, you know. So it is what it is, but this one should sound better now, so, because I have it on my normal gain. Anyway, so we are running through this again. It should be interesting. What's cool is this game does autosave at the start of each chapter, so literally I just had to restart from chapter 2. It only took me a few minutes to get back to here where I was, so yeah, it wasn't a huge deal. Because I was sitting here thinking, oh man, do I gotta play through the whole game again? But nope. Okay, but anyway, now that we got the intros out of the way, now you guys know kind of the situation, we can move forward now. So, all right, so let's see what happened here. Sure. Let's see where to start. I gazed off into the distance as I murmured to myself, I guess in the end, it comes down to me breaking a promise. Yeah, if you guys recall in the last one, she called him a traitor. So clearly, like, he betrayed her in some way, so that's kind of the situation that we're in right now. I think that's what Chiho meant when she called me a traitor. Yep. It was the day of our graduation. We agreed that after the ceremony, we'd meet in the park where we played as kids. But I ended up not going. Yeah, this is a nice art style here. I like this. Yeah, like the black and white filter. I think it's kind of cool. Very artsy. But yeah.
どうして
Yeah. I couldn't go. Mm-hmm. I told you how my dad's loans forced us to run out a year ago. It was the day of my graduation.
じゃあそれで
It's true that there wasn't a lot of time, but we could have put off our departure a little. The biggest problem was my fear. At the time, my old man looked the most afraid he'd ever been. He was usually so laid back.
怯えるって
Mm-hmm. He thought that collection of our debt had been passed to a violent gang known as the Goons.
それってあれかしらパッパ通れ月の石で話しかけてきた
Exactly. Yeah, them. Well, it's my dad's fault for not acting in good faith. He always managed to duck out of his responsibilities one way or another. It was clear the creditors were getting pretty mad. My old man had a good nose for these things, and he got the feeling they'd be sending the mob. So we ran.
それで千穂さんとのことがどう関わってくるのかしら
Good question, actually. My old man was probably exaggerating to make me understand why we were running out. But he really drummed into me how dangerous the goons were. I smiled bitterly. Well, that much was true, at least. They even attacked you on an unrelated matter. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he got me scared too. I just thought that after we ran away, the goons might target Chiho instead. That's what I kept thinking. Mm-hmm. Like you said, there's also a part of me that was broken up about having to leave. But at the time, I really was afraid.
でも借金取りが他人のところに押しかけるなんてそんなことがあるのかしら
It's safe to assume they would. I wouldn't put it past them just yet. Maybe not, maybe so. I don't really know how the mob does things.
あ、そっかでもあの時も
Mm-hmm. Hmm?
二人組は私たちが一緒にいるところを見ていたみたいだったのそれで
Yeah, exactly. Like, if they're sitting here, like, watching his every move, it's safe to say, like, anybody involved with him is a target.
私に対して借金がどうのってことを言ってきたわ
Mm-hmm.
なんか恋人と勘違いしたみたいではあったんだけど
I love how that's her first thought. I see. Then I guess I did the right thing.
お二人は付き合っていらしたの
Maybe. Oh, no, nothing like that. Not even in the slightest.
そう
Mm-hmm. So I cut off ties with Chiho right there, and for the same reason didn't even try to contact her from where we had gone. But in the end, the mob showed up there too. That's why I tried not to make any friends. Mm-hmm. Well, a year later, a bunch of stuff happened where we were, and my old man and I ended up coming back home to Surugigagwa. Then the goons appeared and the old bastard ran, and you know the rest.
なるほどね
Mm-hmm.
結局やむにやまれぬ事情があったと、そういうことなのね。
You could say that, I suppose. I guess so.
だったら早く謝ってしまいなさいな。その話もう伝えてあるの？
Well, he didn't quite get a chance considering she slapped him in the face, but... Yeah. He should tell her. No, I haven't had the chance. You're right, though. I guess that should be the first thing I do. I'll go see her tomorrow, then.
ええ、そうするといいと思うわ。
Mm-hmm.
それには私もついていくから。
Yeah, this part cracked me up. I'm like, why do you want to come? Oh my god. She probably wants to see like the... I was thinking she wanted to see the drama for her unfold, which is kind of funny. Or she just wants to see how things pan out. Yeah. What? Why? I stared at her in shock. Eisei-san seemed unusually flustered. Gee, I wonder why.
別に二人のことが気になるとかそういうことではなくてよ。そういうことじゃなくて。
Tsundere.
だって私は白百合会の会頭なのだから。
Yeah, sure, it's for the society. I know what you're doing.
マサヤさんは当然我が白百合会の会員ではないわね。選挙を得ていないのだから。だからそう会友。
Uh-huh.
会友がその幼馴染と和解しようというのですから、会頭として見守るのは当然のことではなくて。
Okay, I guess there is some, like, actual merit to this, I guess. Because she wants to make sure that the society also is protected. And that doesn't make her look bad too, so... I guess in a way she has a point. But we know this is not the reason she's going. Like, like, let's be real. Is that natural?
当然なんです。
Alright. It's calm. Right. He had gotten so strangely insistent, I couldn't help but nod along.
そういえば、卒業式の日、結局千穂さんはなんであなたを呼び出したの？
That is an interesting point. I wonder if we'll find that out. I don't know. Never got a chance to find out. Mm-hmm. Alright, April 13th. Here we go. Alright. It was the next day. When the bell rang to signal the end of class, Eisei-san and I hurried to Class B where Chiho was. Due to the events of days before, her classmates all met us with cold stares. Yeah? I mean, it's not every day somebody gets slapped right in front of them, so... Chiho seemed to know the second we passed through the doors and fixed us with a glare. Yep. Well, I guess it was better than being ignored. At least she was willing to engage with them this time. As we arrived beside her desk, she turned her eyes to the two of us.
何か？そういえば昨日も私に用があったみたいだけど。
Mm-hmm.
ええ、そう。けれどまあ、私からのお話は後回しで結構よ。後回し？
Mm-hmm.
今日はマサヤさんがあなたに謝罪したいんですって。それでこうしてきたんですけれど。
Yep. Yeah, she has her guard up. Alright, you better say it fast, dude.
一人じゃ謝りにも来れないんだ。この育児なし。
Well, she wanted to come, so not much she could do there. Oh, well...
い いうことではなくてよ。私から言ったというか。
Yep. That's exactly it.
え？
Uh-huh.
乗りかかった船ですし。
Yeah.
仲いいのね。
Yeah, well, you guys are close too at one point, so you guys fell out of touch, so obviously he's gonna make other friends. Awkward.
ほら、早く行ってしまいなさいな。
Yeah, don't sit here and beat around the bush before she loses interest. Right. Listen, I'm sorry about what happened a year ago. I bowed low. When I straightened, Chiho was finally looking me in the face. There were circumstances.
事情って？
Mm-hmm. I took strength from the fact that she was at least ready to listen and spoke quickly. Yeah, because I don't think she's gonna stay this composed for too much longer. You realize that I left Tsurugigaoka a year ago, right?
それは家が空っぽみたいってお母さんから電話があったから。
Mm-hmm. We had to skip town.
夜逃げ？そうだったの？
Mm-hmm. Why? He skipped town? They said that in the newspaper his father was deeply in debt. Now that you mention it, Chiho-san associated with someone like that? That's a final course tourist for you. There it was again. Chiho showed a reaction at that phrase, final course tourist. I wanted to know more about it, but I couldn't let the voices distract me. That's why I couldn't come to see you. I mean, I had the time, but I just couldn't do it.
どういう意味？
It was about the debt. The more I thought about it, the more scared I became. That's right, I never told you about it. Though I guess you probably realized that my family wasn't like normal families to start. Anyway, I wrestled with it, and in the end, I couldn't go. I didn't know what might happen, and when I thought about it, I got so scared.
そう。
I mean, listen, maybe you didn't know, but... Huh? I was about to tell her about the dark underworld of the goons, but found myself stopping. Chiho's manner had changed in a strange way. At first, she had been meeting my eyes as she listened to my story, but now her gaze was turned downwards, her shoulders shaking. Chiho?
マサヤまで。あんたまで。私のこと。そんな風に。
What? She turned her face towards me suddenly with the same tear-filled eyes as the other day. The clattering from her chair as she stood up was also the same. Yeah, I think you know what's coming. And then... Why did he let her slap her again? Like, he knew it was he knew it was coming. Don't just stand there and take it, dude. Come on. Ow! Yeah, that's what you get for being a dumbass. And then Tomie is there again, conveniently. Well, I think they're in the same class, if I recall. Yeah. Everything from the stinging pain in my cheek to the gleeful sound of the camera shutter was all just as it was the day before. Why? I stared in disbelief at the door Chiho had fled from. Did I say something strange?
さあ
Even he says like, what the hell? Oh god. That's right. I know that one Bible phrase, if someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. I thought I put that into practice. Yeah, I'll just let her slap my other cheek because I'm an idiot. Yeah. So her calling you a baka was right on the money.
マサヤさん、あなた同じ側の頬を打たれていてよ。
It's like, yeah. That's also true. You didn't quite put that metaphor into practice well enough. Why would you let her slap you again? That is so stupid. That literally makes no fucking sense. He knew it was coming. It's dumb as hell.
第3話、猫の恩返し。
Alright, Cat returns the favor. Neko ongashi, I think that's what she said.
まったく呆れました。まったく呆れて物も言えません。
Eh, here we are back in the same familiar scene again. Yeah, this is rough.
厳重に注意された翌日にはまた同じことの繰り返しですか。まったくもう。
Okay, this time I don't feel bad for Masaya because he just like he knew it was coming. He just let it happen. Yeah.
千穂さん、お好みまさやくん。今度はもう初回のようなおめこぼしはありませんよ。3日の謹慎処分とします。
3 days house arrest, god damn.
まあまあ、校長先生。
Come on, that's a little harsh, don't you think?
これ以上寛大な処置はありません、理事長。
ありません。
ただ、頬を叩いたものだから、見た目が派手というのは確かにありますが。
見た目？
On the surface. Like, yeah, don't sit here and assume you know the situation just by what you see, you know. There's a deeper meaning to what happened. Let's just put it that way.
引っかき合いの喧嘩。それはフィウドラ・バンセンヌの間でも決して珍しいとは言えないのではありませんか？
Yeah, even Sister Mishima said the same thing. Like, yeah, she like she would get into like little scuffles here and there, yeah.
次元が違います。
At a degree, huh?
次元は同じですよ、校長先生。かつてはあなたも手の甲を引っかかれてなかなか治らないと嘆いたことがあったではありませんか。
I'm really curious to see what she was like in school. That would be really interesting.
昔の話を持ち出すのはいかがかと思いますが。
It is necessary because it shows how much of a hypocrite you're being.
ただ変わらないことがバンセンヌの特徴ですからね。10年一日です。
Exactly.
ともあれ、引っかき傷と頬のもみじ、どちらが早く治るかは何とも言えないところでしょう。
Yeah, I thought this was kind of an interesting metaphor. It's like, yeah, whether it's a scratch or a slap, like, sure, one heals faster than the other, but at the end of the day, it does the same, like, emotional damage, you know? The damage is still the same, you know? So that is an interesting metaphor, yeah.
わかりました。ただし、今度で本当に最後です。 次は理事長が何とおっしゃろうと、それ相応の処分を下します。
Yeah, see, now that's perfectly fair. Like you know, like in baseball, 3 strikes, you're out. Yeah, so that makes sense. That's more reasonable. Because if they're dumb enough to do this a 3rd time, then you got some problems. Then it's a pattern. Like 1 time, like sure, 1 time it's an accident, 2 times it could be a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. So yeah, that makes sense.
下がりなさい。
She's just like, yeah, get the fuck out. Like, all right. Yes, ma'am.
はい。
Yeah. Hey, Chiho. Hey. He left. Just as it had been during lunch the last time we met, she completely shut me out.
不思議よね。
And we're back here again, deliberating what to do now. It was evening. We were speaking in the recreation room as we had done 2 days ago.
脇で見て、私も頭の中が疑問符でいっぱいになったわ。
She's like, I was so confused and I was there. Yeah.
マサヤさんは確かに普通に話を進めていたと思う。ともあれ、あんな風に激高させる失態なんて絶対になかった。
Yeah, you would think, right?
なのに、一体千穂さんは何を思ったのかしら。
Who knows? If she doesn't want to talk to him, then you can only just speculate. Yeah. Chiho was giving me the silent treatment, so I had no idea what could be the cause. Yep. That night, I had lain in bed, staring at the ceiling, and repeated this scene over and over again in my head. See, laying in bed, I think that is a word. Because I felt like laid in bed makes more sense there, but I think laying can work too. Anyway, I'm not here to criticize the grammar, but I still couldn't grasp what I did or said to make her so angry. We were sitting together in silence when we heard a hesitant knock on the door.
こちらにいらしたんですね。
Ritsuko! Or Ruriko. I keep getting their names mixed up.
あら、ルリコさん。
I think it's because they sound similar, so yeah.
ごきげんよ
What's up?
う。ごきげんよう。パン君も。
Cool.
ちょっとよろしいでしょうか。
Me?
千穂さんのことでお話ししたいことがあって。
Oh, sure.
今、私たちも昨日のことで相談していたところなのよ。
You know, yep.
そうですか。だったらちょうどよかったです。私もマサヤさんも彼女の行動には疑問でいっぱいだわ。ルリコさんも同じね。
Mm-hmm.
はい。
Yeah, it makes sense.
私、マサヤさんに謝らないといけません。
Why?
最初に千穂さんが叩いた時はきっとあなたが何か悪いことをしたのだろうとそう思ったんです。
Yeah, it's perfectly understandable. Again, it's the same thing with the headmistress. Like, if she's only viewing what's on the outside and not getting to the deeper root of the problem, so... Because there is a more underlying meaning to it than just what you see, yeah.
ただ目撃のショックから覚めてみると それはどうも早計に過ぎるように思えてきました。
Makes sense.
そして昨日のことです。リセさんもご一緒でしたから。
Yeah. Yeah, Ruriko is very smart. Like, she'd put two and two together. Like, oh, if Rise was still there vouching for him, then he couldn't... Then he must not have done anything wrong. Yeah, she must already have known the situation. Yep.
私？リセさんは事情を把握しているように見えました。その上でマサヤさんと行動を共にしている。
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, she's putting two and two together. Like, that's pretty impressive that she figured that out.
それはつまり十分に納得のいく事情だったのではないかとそう思ったのです。
I don't know if sympathetic is the word I would use there, but it's worth like getting the full story on. It's a situation that needs the full story to make a proper conclusion. Yeah, that's how I would describe that.
ご明察。さすがはビジュブル。聡明だわ。
I had to agree. He acts so vapid, but it was true that she was quiet and gentle, but she appeared to be quite observant as well. Yeah, usually the quiet ones are. Like, they just pay attention to their surroundings. I'm wondering if she has a form of autism. If she's supposed to be depicted as with autism or something. I don't think that's the case, but I feel like that's typically how... Yeah, because I'm kind of the same way too. That was me when I was in school. I didn't have a lot of friends either. So I would literally just observe the people around me and try to come to like I was like kind of like deduce what it means. Like try to break down the scenario in my head and see like, okay, what's the best possible outcome here? You know, that was me kind of back in school. Like, I just kept to myself, and then I didn't bother anybody, didn't want any drama, you know. I mean, if you talked to me, obviously I would engage back, but I didn't go out of my way to see people. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, anyway.
その事情、私にも聞かせていただけませんでしょうか?
There you go, yeah. Yeah, you see, get the full picture first before jumping to conclusions, yeah. Of course. Mochiron.
そんなことが。
Yeah, it makes sense, right?
そして、マサヤさんの懸念は結果的には当たっていたのよ。極悪組でしたっけ？あの二人組、本当に危ない連中だったんだから。けれど、思い出すと悔しいし申し訳ないわ。宝くじのことよ。
Yeah, the lottery ticket that the cat stole, so... Yeah, if he didn't lose that lottery ticket, like... all of his problems would have been fixed, and then he could go back to living his life, I guess, but... I told you not to worry about that.
ですけど...
Yeah, well...
確かに...
Yoriko-san thought quietly for a moment before continuing.
やむにやまれぬ事情ですね。
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, the goons were gonna come after them regardless, so he kind of had to step in if he wanted to protect Rise, I guess. But yeah.
でしょ？なのになんで千穂さんは激高したのかしら。ただ昨日の出来事は マサヤさんがきちんと説明するよりも前に起こったようでした。
Yeah, so the first time she slapped him was because she was mad that he bailed. Now that she knows the situation and still slapped him, this time she called him an idiot. So clearly her feelings changed about something, yeah. So that's what she's trying to piece together.
ええ、それもそうね。それで私、千穂さんのことで前々から気になっていたことがあるんですが。
Why's that? As I leaned forward, Ririko-san slumped in her chair.
千穂さんのこと、とても心配していらっしゃるようですね。
Well, they used to be good friends at one point. Oh, well, we were childhood friends. She's all jealous. Funny. It's been over a year since we saw each other. I didn't even know she planned to go here after graduation. That's why seeing her here had been such a shock. If this were a normal school, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but this was the famous Vincennes. And Chiho's family was decidedly middle class. Yeah, so it does beg the question, like, how they could afford to get her into that school. So it is interesting.
どうして？普通、進路の話くらいはするのではなくて？
Probably goes back to the dead again, yeah. I had been hiding my family situation for a while, which made it hard to talk about. Yeah, she never once tried to, like, pry into his personal life, which is also interesting. Because if she was more concerned, then they were such good friends. I'm surprised she wouldn't have tried to know more about his family and situation and stuff, but I don't know. You can never really know these things.
昨日も千穂さんは夜逃げと聞いて驚いていましたが、どうして隠していたんですか？
I didn't want to worry her. Chiho's parents helped me a lot with my family situation. They were good people. I didn't want to put them through that. Plus, my old man was such a con artist, I was afraid that if I made them take pity on me, he'd get them involved in it. So, I decided I would never mention money to them.
そうですか。マサヤさんの方はわかるとして、千穂さんはどうして黙っていたのかしらね。
Yeah, it's like I was saying, like, why did she never ask? I'm not really sure. I wouldn't have minded if she wanted to brag a little. Yeah, she didn't talk about going to Vincennes. If I remember correctly, I think Ruriko mentions it here, because I think she also pieces it together. But we'll let her explain it.
きっと寂しかったのではないでしょうか。
About what?
バンセンヌはご承知の通り全寮制で、帰省も夏休みと年末年始に限られています。
Yeah, so they wouldn't have been able to see each other that much, from what I guess. So that could explain why she didn't want to talk about it, because she knew that that would mean they would have to, like, stop hanging out regularly.
つまり会える機会がぐっと制限されてしまうことになるのですから。なるほどね。きっとそういうことなんでしょうね。
You think so, huh? I thought she's still upset about that. Like, Yeah, he's known her longer. Like, deal with it. Get off your high horse. Right. Why are you glaring at me?
あら、ごめん遊ばせ。私、目が悪いものだから、つい目を細めてしまう癖があるのよ。
Yeah, that's a likely story. Like, oh, my bad. My eyesight sucks, so I'm just gonna look at you angrily. I do that to everybody. Yeah, it's no big deal. But yeah, it's not because I'm like jealous or anything. Nah, that's not it. I mean, what are we talking about? Yeah, get out of here. Right.
それで、気がかりなことというのは、千穂さんは何かとお客さん扱いされているんです。
Okay, yeah, so this is kind of what I was getting at with the whole, why she didn't say she was going away to boarding school. Because of the whole tourist thing. Now, at first, I didn't quite understand this. I think Chiho explains it better. I think I didn't realize it until we hear it from like Chiho's perspective, but yeah, I didn't quite understand what the final course tourist thing was, but we do touch on that a little bit later. So yeah, I'll let them explain it, but yeah. Ah, you mean the final course tourist thing?
はい。
Mm-hmm. What does that mean exactly? I've been wondering about that. At my question, the two exchanged a troubled glance.
そうね。これっていう意味があるわけでもないんだけど。
Nope.
万世のは前期課程からの一貫教育という話は前にしたわね。
Yeah?
生徒の大部分は前期課程から入学するわ。たまに中期課程から入る子もいるけれど、後期となるとめったにいない。だから浮いてしまうのよ。
Okay, so the way she described it, I was a little confused at first. Because I was thinking it depends on the time of year you join. But I realize now it's completely different. Yeah, this does come up again later. I'll explain. Like I said, I'll let them explain it more later. And then it'll make a little bit more sense when they explain it, I guess. But yeah. All right. Tamie-san mentioned that too. Well, as part of the news club, I know a thing or two, and Chiho-san never really fit in. Yeah.
それに万世のにはとても独特で濃密な空気があるわ。マサヤさんも出会った夜言っていたわね。
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Tamie, she's considered a tourist too. I think. Was she an intermediary tourist, if I remember correctly? Yeah, I think that's what Tamie is. What she's viewed as. So she's not as discriminated against as Chiho. Even though she joined the school late too. But yeah.
私の喋り方が少し変わっていると。
Mm-hmm. Ah, right.
一時が万事その調子だもの。中期課程ならそれでもそこそこは馴染めるでしょうけれど、後期となると正直難しいでしょうね。
Yeah. So yeah, I believe Tamie is an intermediary, if I remember correctly.
私はそんな風潮も変えたいのよ。共学科にはそれも含まれているわ。 私も同感です。
See, this is the perfect opportunity to get Ruriko on board in the White Lily Society. Like, since they share the same values, they might as well, you know, team up. Yeah.
瑠璃子さん、
Mm-hmm. You're thinking what I'm thinking. Come on. Just say it.
以前の私がそうした問題意識を持っていたとはとても言えません。ですが、千穂さんとお友達になってから強く感じるようになったのです。
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ruriko, she's just too sweet for her own good, I think. I feel like a lot of people would take advantage of that.
入った時期と人柄に関係などあるはずがありません。なのに色眼鏡をかけて見てしまう。そんなのはきっと馬鹿げているんです。
Mm-hmm.
その通りよ。瑠璃子さんに同意してもらえて、私としても心強いわ。
Yeah, you guys are on the same page, so get her into the society.
そんな。
Mm-hmm.
あ、そうだ。瑠璃子さん、ぜひ白百合会の会友として私たちの活動に協力してもらえないかしら。
There you go. Now we get to recruit her fully.
微力ではありますが、喜んで。
Oh yeah. All right, we got another one. So we finally got somebody join our affiliates.
ありがとう。
Hell yeah. Two shook hands and we had our first affiliate. Annabelle was dancing on her shoulder. I shook hands with her as well. Once it was finished, Ruriko-san stared at her hand in disbelief.
私、男性の肌に触れたのは初めてです。
She's like, oh my gosh. God, I touched a boy. Wow. Again, do these people not have fathers? Like, are they just not viewed as men to them? I was saying that from the beginning. Like, why do you guys have fathers? Come on, man. It's just a handshake.
それもそうですね。
Mm-hmm.
それで話は戻りますが、
Turn to the point, yeah, we didn't quite figure out a solution, did we?
千穂さんは入学以来何度も傷つけられているんです。本当にこうした風潮は変わってくれるといいのですが。
Chiho did seem to notice when she heard the others whispering about her. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard not to notice that because they're like openly doing it. We're like 3 feet away from her, so yeah, it's kind of hard not to notice.
昨日のことなんですが、そうしたことの影響があって千穂さんは誤解してしまったのではないかと、そう思うんです。
That could be, yeah. So maybe like because of the whole tourist thing, like maybe she thought of his like she misconstrued like what he was trying to say. Yeah, that makes sense. Misunderstood them how?
借金のことを隠したのは千穂さんの心変わりを恐れたから。マサヤさんの考えをそのように誤解したのではないかと。
Yeah, see, faithless is an interesting word to use there. I would say like he probably didn't feel like he could fully trust her. That's probably how she felt. So yeah, that's probably why she thought of him as like a traitor. Yeah, makes sense. I remembered the incomplete thought she had expressed to me the day before. Masaya, even you treat me that way? Can't believe she'd think that. We were childhood friends and everything. But as Ruriko-san said, it may have been the influence of the school that led her to think that way. Well, now that I know what she's thinking, we can fix it. I'll talk to her again tomorrow.
頑張ってください。何しろ二人は将来を誓い合った仲なのですし。
You pledged yourselves to each other once. Why you gotta phrase it like that?
そうだったの？
She's interpreting that all wrong. No, it's not like that. What? Where did that come from, Ruriko-san?
違ったのですか？私てっきり幼馴染とはイコールそういう存在なのかと。
No, just means they were friends as kids. That's it. No, the term seriously doesn't have that implication at all. Uriko-san was intelligent, but she was also the kind of girl who had never seen boxers before, and there was her reaction to our handshake too. Yeah. Like, book smart doesn't necessarily translate to, like, overall smartness, like, overall intelligence, but, yeah. She was the kind of person who showed that being intelligent and being knowledgeable were not necessarily the same thing. Yeah, exactly.
何よ、もう焦ってしまったじゃない。
You did that to yourself. Like, you're the one getting, jumping, like, getting these wrong impressions in your head.
驚かせてしまってごめんなさい。そうよ、驚いてしまったじゃない。
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you want a piece of that, Masaya. Don't lie. We know you do. Ruriko's like, uh-huh. I couldn't quite understand what the difference was myself.
じゃあ、マサヤさん、今度はあなた一人で行ってちょうだい。で、結果を報告してくださる？
That's probably for the best, yeah. Roger. Yeah, considering how things played out last time, she was calling him a coward for not apologizing by himself. Like, yeah, I think having them there just caused more drama, so. Alright, the next day. Hell yeah, dude. Fortunately, the results weren't much to talk about.
何よ、もう。
Chiho moved away swiftly, and I picked up the pace to meet her. We ended up in the rose garden. Wait a minute. Chotto matte. At least hear me out, please. Or are you just never going to talk to me again? Look, I was really happy to see you again.
バカ。
Baka. Huh?
早く言いなさいよ、聞いてるから。
Yeah, don't beat around the bush. Just get to it before she runs off again. Right. Finally, I explained to her about the mob coming after me. However...
はあ？
So? Her reaction was still cold.
何よそれ。校長先生の時も思ったけど、マサヤって本当に言い訳が下手よね。
Excuse... What? But I'm telling you the truth.
いくら相手が危ない人だからって、なんで本人じゃない別の他人に絡んでくるのよ。
I mean, I can see the perspective she's looking at it from, like... Like, she wasn't involved in it, so why would she be a target? Like, yeah, I guess that is one conclusion you could jump to, but also, they just want to get their money any way they can, so anybody that has any connection that they could probably target and get something out of, it's unreasonable to assume that they wouldn't do that, you know? It's just, well, even though it was my old man's debt, they were still coming after me, so...
親子と幼馴染じゃ根本的に違うでしょ
I mean, she got a point, I guess. Well, that is true, but...
そうよ私たちは単なる幼馴染で恋人とかそういうあれならともかく
Koibito? See, now why is that your first thought? Like, oh, now if we were a couple, then... Yeah, it's clear to me. I think she liked him at some point, yeah. I mean, they were like... It seemed like they were attached to the hip, so it only makes sense, you know?
それで借金取りの目がこっちに向くなんてあるはずないじゃない
Again, it's unreasonable to assume they wouldn't. Don't be so certain. But, listen, Chiho, you know how dangerous the goons are, don't you?
はあ知るはずないじゃないヤクザのことなんか
She's got a point. I mean, I don't think... Like, her family wasn't tied up in this bullshit, so she wouldn't know anything about it, but... That was true.
マサヤだって知ってるとは思えないさっきから適当なことばっかり
Mm-hmm. No, I really do know. Though my source was the old man. That old bastard, he was so good with words, he had me fully convinced the goons were dangerous. Though in the end, it still seemed like he was right about that. Well, since I never got to tell you personally, I guess it wasn't obvious how scared I was.
伝わるはずないでしょもう話してってば
It wasn't until she said that I realized I was holding onto her wrist. The moment I let her go, she turned on her heel. Well, she's always been fast on her feet.
マサヤバカ
Baka.
私だってあんたと仲直りしたいのに
Yeah, she wants to be friends again. She just doesn't know what to think right now.
どうして変な嘘つくのよ
I mean, it's an outrageous story, but he's not lying per se. And that's how it turned out. We're back here again. Wow.
困ってしまうわねまあ確かに一見すると嘘っぽい話ではあるのだけど
Yeah, I mean, the way he's like phrasing it, it does sound kind of silly. It's like, yeah, my dad got tied up with these mafia guys, and then they're coming and attacking me, trying to shake down everybody in my life. Like, it's a little silly, like, because no average person gets involved with the mafia, the yakuza. But anyway, yeah, can't really deny that.
ゆうべ私はバンセンヌに入学したことが影響を与えたのではないかと言いましたが
Yeah, but now it's probably like his so at this point it's just him. Like, he's just being a dumbass. Yeah, so she's right to call him a baka, an idiot.
それに加えてマサヤさんが梨のつぶてを続けたことも良くなかったのかもしれませんね
Exactly, yeah. He's starting to realize it.
ともあれ、千穂さんは詳しい事情を知らなかったのですから。
Yeah, you just coming out and saying, yeah, the mob was coming after me. And then when she doesn't really know the whole story, that's kind of, it sounds a little ridiculous on the surface. Yeah. Yeah. That was true. That's what I have been so worried about and why I wanted to see her. I couldn't count the number of times I found myself somewhere, looking up at the sky, eyes filled with tears as I thought of Chiho and my friends. But I couldn't make her understand that, and not knowing the circumstances was making it worse.
この1年の間に、千穂さんの心はすっかり凍ってしまったのかもしれません。
Yeah, you might be right about that.
そんな心を優しく溶かしてあげられるのは、まさやさんの熱いパッションだけですよ。
Atsui passion. That's that's such a fun way. That's an interesting way to phrase that. His warm passion. Like Chiho, baby, come to me. Let me give you all my passion. What are you talking about? Like I think she's just bad with words. Although I remember watching a Noble's playthrough of this, like I kind of know what happens with the Ruriko's character later on. I feel like she kind of makes a lot of implications that she doesn't really understand, and it's kind of funny watching her character progress in that way. But yeah, right. But that's where the conversation stalled. Ruriko-san's mention of warm passion didn't seem to have any concrete plan attached to it.
私、ちょっと思ったのだけど、まさやさんの心配は結果的には遠を得ていた。であるならば。
Okay, this part kind of shocked me. Like, I kind of knew where it was going, but I didn't think they'd actually have this plan. Like, I'll let it play out a little bit, and then you guys can kind of see, like where my thinking was. But anyway.
実地に試してみればいいんじゃないかしら。
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking too when I first played through this. Demonstrated what?
極悪組の危険性を。
Yeah, see, this is such a stupid plan. So essentially, like, in the beginning, what I took away from this was she wanted to set up a scenario where the goons would come after them. And I'm sitting here thinking, there's no way they're gonna do that. But then here we are, we're actually discussing it. Like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. There's no way this is gonna go well. So, yeah.
あのレストランで2人でいただけで、あの連中は私に声をかけてきたわ。
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
だったら、相手は千穂さんでも事情は同じじゃないかしら。
Yeah, you see, this is really stupid. Why are we even entertaining this idea? I mean, at the end of the day, like, I kind of figured as much. Like, this is the only way to prove it to her. But still, this is really risky. Ah, I see. Lure them out. But wouldn't that be a little dangerous? Yeah.
どうして？だってあなた、喧嘩が強いのに。
What gave you that impression? That he flipped the dude over a bush? Okay. I think he just got lucky. I think he even admitted it in that, after that incident, he just got lucky. Yeah. If I remember correctly. I am? I don't really think so.
だって、手下みたいな人、の下じゃないの。
It's probably not that either. He just got lucky. Again. We don't know for sure if that's the case. Truth was, I haven't had a day's worth of real training. Yeah, again, he just got lucky. The idea makes me pretty anxious. It would be one thing if it were just me, but to bring Chiho into it...
確かにそうね。計画として軽率に過ぎるかもしれないわね。
Yeah, but at the same time, I hate to say it, it's the best plan they have. I don't see how there's any other way to break it to her, but...
つまり、いざという時の危険性が取り除ければいいのでしょうか?
Okay. Alright, Ruriko, what you got in mind? Well, I guess, but...
では、お父様にお願いして、ボディーガードについてもらうのはいかがでしょう?
I love how she just has bodyguards on hand. That is so funny. What? You can do that? Ruriko-san nodded. Wow.
帰省した時に外出の際などは必ずつきますので。
Yeah, that makes sense. I see.
それはいいわね。ジェンは急げと言うわ。できれば明日にでも。
Should begin tomorrow. That seems a little fast, yeah, but... I mean, you should at least take the time to plan it out. She's still gonna be mad that... She's still gonna be there mad at him a week from now. Please, you don't need to, like, do this immediately.
はい、お父様に聞いてきますので、ちょっとお待ちになってください。本職のボディーガードがいれば、心配いらないのではなくて?
I guess. Yeah, I guess so. Wow, but that was a surprise.
ボディーガード?
Yeah, normally I would have thought that sort of thing was impossible.
バンセンヌに前期から入学した人の家庭は、おしなべて裕福だわ。
Yeah, that makes sense, because obviously the people that started early are the ones that paid to get into school, so yeah.
けれど、ルリコさんの家は中でもとびきりなの。だって、あの神ヤギ財閥ですもの。
Kamiyagi Group. Even I knew that name. I think everyone in Japan knew that name. Lately, they were even known around the world as the globally expanding Kamiyagi. To put it plainly, the idea of me becoming friends with someone from a family like that was nothing short of a miracle.
ルリコさんこそは筋金入りの箱入り娘と言えるでしょうね。
Hothouse Flower. Does she explain this here? I don't remember. Issei-san was a very active person, but she was still a proper lady, which gave her statement extra conviction. Yeah, hothouse flower, that's very interesting. Yeah, see, I interpret that as like she's... Yeah, it's like Ruriko is super sheltered, that's how I kind of interpret that, but... I mean, there's probably a deeper meaning into it. Aww.
浮かない顔ね。ダメだったの？ダメではなかったんですが。
Ruriko-san explained that the suddenness of the request meant that their usual bodyguards were already fully scheduled elsewhere. Yeah, that makes sense.
普段見知っている方なら自信を持って推薦できるのですが、そうではないのでどうしようかと。
Yeah, since the regulars are away, having to get someone out, get an outsider is gonna be kind of difficult to know how they would fare in this situation.
どうしましょうか。
Can we still get a bodyguard?
はい、それは先方は会社ですので数百人からいらっしゃるそうです。
A company, huh? Several hundred available. That's a lot. In that case, let's do it. I want to make up with Chiho quickly too.
わかりました。
Wakarimashita. Hell yeah. Ruriko-san pressed a few buttons on her cell phone to take it off of hold.
お父様、やっぱりお願いします。はい、明日で。
Ashitade. From there, the three of us worked out the finer points of our plan and I prepared for tomorrow. Alright. There's our intermission. Beautiful. Alright, next day. So it's a Saturday. Okay, so they should have... I guess they don't have classes, huh? Cool. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to leave this video here. Yeah, this is where I left the last one, so... I'm trying to record it the same exact way I did. So... Yeah, next part, we're going to see kind of how it all plays out. It's pretty entertaining. I don't want to hype it up too much, but I thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, we're going to see how that goes, so that should be fun. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, you can let me know by leaving a like or telling me in the comments below. Subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace.